Hello there and welcome to my channel. This is Non-Gone and today we're playing Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. I swore I wouldn't do it. I hinted that I might. Here we go. This is a Speed Platinum run on the PS4 version. Speed Platinum, for those of you that don't know or haven't watched the previous videos in this series, is a fastest to Platinum run of all trophies. That's what Platinum means, and it's measured from the time you get your first trophy to the time you get your last trophy. I did this on the PS3 version about a month ago and then recreated it all this past month. And I just kept seeing that record time for PS4 of 1 day and 23 hours. There you go. You see it right there by Tiny Arse. That's the current leaderboard right now. This is as measured on psnprofiles.com. I know there's other trophy tracking sites, but that's the one that I use. And that's the way I track it. I don't know, there are other ones there, but that's the one that I use. So the reason that I bring that up is that I am offering a contest on this one. I hinted that I would do this, and I'm definitely going to follow through. So I don't know what the run's going to be. I don't know if I can beat 47 hours. I've done this twice, and both times it was 59 something. So I'd have to shave 12 hours off of this. The record is going to be 47 hours, of course, by Tiny Arse. But I am offering a $50 PlayStation gift card for anybody that beats my time. So I'll have to verify that it's you. It will have to be recorded on PSN profiles. But if you can beat my time, if you watch these videos, hopefully these strats will help you. $50 goes to the first person that beats my time on this. So we are in Mission 1. We just got our first trophy about 4 minutes ago. So it has begun. So the reason that I want to do that is I started these speed plats back in the day as somebody that's not particularly talented or distinguished at anything. Like, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the cutest, the richest, the fastest, the most athletic or anything. You know, like not like terrible, but pretty average and everything. This is a kind of a nice way to be number one at something, and it feels really good. And I just feel like there's people out there that could really benefit from that, you know, feel like maybe, like, if you feel like maybe you're not good at anything, you can do stuff like this and end up as number one, and I would encourage that for anybody. Happiness is in short supply nowadays, and, you know, if you can find something, even if it's something silly like this, by all means pursue it, and I would certainly want to encourage that. So I got the PS3 top time the day before the servers closed, so as far as I know, I'll have that one forever. So that one's for me. This one is for you, anybody out there that wants to give this a go. I'm telling you this because as we run in, this is Mission 1, and I'm telling you this because you can use my strats somewhat. I am not a speedrunner. This speed plats are way different from speed runs. If you want to see some like actual speed runs of this game, Valyssa did, Vallyssa did a run that was about 47 hours. That's just wonderful. And that was about 4 years ago. And then a couple of months, somebody named Thanks Kojima came out and did a run that was like maybe 12 hours faster for the 100% category on speedrun.com or Twitch. At the moment, those streams are still available in their entirety. Thanks Kojima ended up following that up with one that was a 98% run in 29 hours. He was just waiting for key deployment missions. Mad props to those two. These are measured in real time, and that means it's also a test of endurance, not just skill. You have to manage your hydration, you have to manage your sleep. You have to be very interested in doing this. If you do try to do this, I encourage you to take breaks. I know that's counterintuitive, but trust me, you will get stupid after 2 days straight of playing a game. And you can let the game idle while you take a nap, you know, those kind of strats. So anyway, that's just a little kind of disclaimer and shout out to anybody that wants to attempt this, is be very careful managing your own health as you're going for something like this. Huge shout out to my wife, who, first of all, somehow managed in this shortage to find a PS5 for me like 3 days ago. So she totally clutched that out. I was hoping it would help with the loading screens. We'll see whether it does or not. This is the first time I've played it on the PS5, so we'll see. Like I said, it's the PS4 version, but hopefully the PS5 will help. Oops. I always do this. Sorry, I got to break for just a second to put reflex mode back on. There's an optional objective for the prologue for not using reflex mode, and the easiest way to get that is to turn it off. So anyway, huge shout out to my wife, who also has to do quite a bit of modifications of her own schedule for the next 2 days to, you know, kind of work around me being up and doing this. She's kind of a beast too when it comes to video games, though. She just finished Elden Ring and is now running through Insanity on the Mass Effect trilogy, so like she's no slouch. Anyway, thank you very much. Without this, babe, I couldn't do it. I was even recording on our anniversary for a little bit, so, and we still made the most of that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get going. There's not a whole lot that that I haven't already covered in my walkthrough. It's the first like 13 videos of this playlist. So I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to bother too much with specifics of the run. If you want to see the detailed part, you can look. I'm in fact not going to record most of this run. What I'm going to do instead is check in about every 5 hours and let you know where I should be and where I am, and if anything crazy has happened in the meantime. So again, thanks for watching. We're already about 7 minutes into this, and I'm already about 5 minutes behind, probably because I was concentrating more on talking into the microphone than playing the game. But, you know, we're making progress, so that's all right. Again, a reminder, you don't have to be particularly talented. Just practice, get your routes down, pick up some of the strats from myself, from Valissa, from Thanks Kojima, and you can get there. I encourage you to try it. There's a lot of extra time in this run. I know it. I hope there's enough that I can at least get under that 47 hours. And then honestly, I hope there's enough that anybody that watches this that wants to try can get under that time. I'd love to see you beat it. So good luck. Happy gaming. Stay bad, people. And I will see you in 5 hours. So I know I promised I'd do this every 5 hours. It's about 3 hours and 45 minutes into the run. My wife's going to bed. I don't want to wake her up by being on the microphone. So she's super, super supportive. Putting up with this stuff for 2 days at a time, so the least I can do is let her sleep. So anyway, we are actually ahead of schedule by a decent amount. We are at the 4 hour and 18 minute split time, and we are at about 3 hours and 45 minutes. I just took about a 15-minute break here just to, you know, take a shower, get some food and stuff. So that's where we're at. We've done, we're basically trying to get to the FOB invasions and building the nuke as quickly as possible while doing key deployment missions. And we just finished mission 19. So I've skipped 18 and 8 still, and we're going to do those about right now. So so far so good. Morale is high and we're on pace. So I'll check back in early in the morning, about 7.5 more hours. So we'll see you then. And we are back. We're right at the 13-hour mark on this monster run. I've been up all night chugging along. We are building the nuke. We are 47 side ops done, and we're in the middle of the longest split time that I've got on this run, which is like a 8 hour and 53-minute split, which is doing 95 side ops all in a row. We're on deployment mission 13. We've got the wormhole about halfway developed at this point, so about another hour and we can stop worrying about the balloon. The next split time after these 95 side ops is 1923, which is about 10 after 4 in the afternoon here. And so I will check back in at that point if I'm not asleep. So I also wanted to make a mention because, you know, this is not only just a video game run, this is like a personal challenge. You know, in order to do something like this, you have to kind of push yourself to the limit. You have to manage your sleep and manage your life and be able to stay awake and be aware and do all that stuff. And for anybody trying to challenge themselves to do this, I'm offering you just a little bit of advice. When I do speed runs, and I don't know if you've watched any of my earlier videos, but I'm not new to this. I've done Phantom Pain a couple times for top times. I've done about, I don't know, a bunch of other games for about the last 8 years. I've been doing speed plats. So I just now started putting them on video just to maybe help other people that want to get into it or think it would be fun, to give them a little more detailed instructions. If you're watching this, that is you. And it's not just the game, you also have to manage yourself. So my 2 rules are be prepared, number 1, and number 2, good self-care. And those cannot be stressed enough. The more you prep the run, the more you prep your life. Make sure you think about what you're going to be eating. Make sure you think about what obligations you have. Make sure you think about the fact that it's a holiday weekend and you're going to be hearing fireworks all weekend if you're in my neighborhood. Just stuff like that. If you got birthdays or family obligations, you have to work around that. And on that count, I feel that I've made a bit of a blunder. It is now about 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning, and I've been at it for just now about 13 hours. And my plan was to work my job Friday, then come home, make dinner, and take as much of a nap as I could so I'd be refreshed and ready to start. And even if that was like midnight, that would be fine. Well, I got home, made dinner, laid down for about 45 minutes, couldn't sleep. I was just too excited to start. And my impatience is gonna cost me, because even though it's only been 13 hours in the run, I have been up since 6:30 yesterday morning. So I'm already 27 hours into no sleep. And I've got at least another 24 hours of gameplay to go, even if everything goes great. So that's going to be tough, and it's probably going to cost time on the back end of the run, because I don't think I could go like 2.5, 3 days without sleep. So I will definitely have to do that. You can probably shave some time off my run if you prepare better. As for self-care, I had a minute about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was doing those 50 FOB invasions all in a row. Super boring, just running to the checkpoint. It's like 2.5 or 3 hours of that. And I was starting to fall asleep and doze off and starting to think, oh man, I don't even want to do this. And that's when I stopped. Well, I didn't stop. I made myself some pizza rolls, got a cup of coffee, drank a big glass of water, did some dishes. And I did those by getting up and going to the kitchen each time I loaded into an FOB. So I'd run over and do like 2 dishes and run back. And I'll tell you, the food and beverages really helped me out. And of course the caffeine. But what helped me out more than anything is getting up off the couch and moving. That just makes such a difference. If you start to feel bad, just get up and like walk around or something. But yeah, good self-care. So be prepared, good self-care. That's where we're at. The run's rocking and rolling. Like I said, we're just at the 13-hour mark, and we're going to keep chugging. So I will catch you in about 60 more missions, hopefully in like 6 more hours. We'll see you then. And we are back, and it is 2:37 in the afternoon. We are at the 19-hour and 23-minute checkpoint. So we are 4:10, 2:37. We're about an hour and a half early. Basically, I just went and did 95 side ops in 6.5 hours. So we're actually ahead of schedule, and even more ahead of schedule than that. And let me tell you the general theory about this run. I mentioned this in my overview at the very first video of this playlist. So there's 3 things going on. There's gameplay, which is pretty much just the 51 missions right here and the 157 side ops. Get your S rank and all the tasks. That is pretty well in your control, how fast you can do it. I am not very fast. For a speedrunner, not even close. If you want to see some wild stuff, go look up Velissa's 47-hour run and Thanks Kojima's 29-hour and 15-minute run. They do stuff that I wouldn't even dream of doing. It's just bonkers. Like the skill and the it's so fast. I even know what I'm doing and I can't follow it sometimes. So that's what real speed running is about. Speed Platinum's a little bit more mellow and deliberate. And but just so you know, if you want to go faster, you certainly can. I am pretty dyed in the wool stealth camo guy. I just abuse it. Like, let me tell you some of the things in this game that I've never used or I didn't use till today. Noctocyanin, Pentazamin, Parasite Suit, Chicken Hat, D-Walker. I've never used D-Walker, never once in all the playthroughs. Anything other than my starting gun, the AKM AM4R or whatever it is. Weather mods, except for 2. I call in sandstorms for 2 missions. Airstrikes, except for sleep for a couple of things. Decoys, I don't use decoys. Smoke and stun grenades, I don't think you'll ever see me throw one. It's just bonkers, like the limited use that I'm making of this game. So if you want to get better, you can certainly get a lot better. The reason I bring that up, so the rest of the plan is to clean out missions. We have 38 side ops to go. It's actually like 40 because I still have this one down here to do. It was a target practice and it didn't show up till I was already gone. I'll go back and get it. But then we got to go through each of the 51 missions and do all the tasks in the S rank. And that is part 1 of, like if you lay them out in a flow chart, that would be path 1. While that's happening, you have your nuke, which is not in a speed run, 100% speed run, but it is in a speed platinum because there's 2 trophies related to it. And that is how fast you get it developing, and then how fast will it be developed so you can dismantle it. In my case, it was, I think, 9:09 tomorrow morning is when it'll be done, which is 36 and a half hours or something like that. So that is, I can't go any lower than that for my time for this run. So that's the second thing. The first is getting all the missions and the side ops. The second is the combat deployment. And the second is the nuke, and the third is the combat deployment. And this just came up right as we're talking, so this is perfect. The reason I brought up those speed runs is that I've been struggling to figure out ways to get these to not burn me. We are on number 16 now, so we blew through the first 15, no problem. They're all 90-some% success rates. We're now on the last 5, and that's the S rank ones. And you can fail them. They take 2.5 hours, 2 or 3 hours, whatever it is. You can fail them 4 times in a row, and then you lose 10 hours off your run. I used and leaned heavily on Thanks Kojima for this. I had to slow their video down to like 0.25 to figure out what they were doing. But basically, there's a plus minus of these on the time. You cannot manipulate the success chances in any way that I've been able to find. You can't save scum. You can't complete certain amounts down here to make these ones more likely to succeed. You can't put better gear in or better soldiers. It's going to stay 50 or 60% success rate no matter what. But what you can do is at least make them go faster. And the last 6 missions, of which 5 of them are these S rank ones, roll between their 150 minutes plus or minus 30. So this could be 2 hours, this could be 3 hours. This one, of course, is right down the middle, which leaves you with a decision. Now, Thanks Kojima basically did this with all 20 missions and quit and aborted the mission. They'd start it like this and then abort, and I'm not going to do it yet because of something that I'm not sure about. But they'd start it and then abort it and roll until they got a better time. And that allows you to save up to like 9 or 10 hours of at least deployment times. And if you start failing, even more so. The only thing I'm worried about is that I've heard when you abandon an S rank mission, you lose your battle gear for the time that it would have been in that mission. And I don't know how they avoided it. I watched the whole speed run and they kept their battle gear the whole time. So I'm going to try this right now. I'm actually going to put my save on a USB. I'm going to start this and abandon it and see if I lose my battle gear, and I'll be right back. And so we're just going to go in to rescue the peacekeepers here and start the mission. Now you'll lose a walker gear for sure, and then we're going to hit triangle to abort the mission, and it will say all your walker gears will be lost, and then see it will re-roll the time for you. It looks like it kept our battle gear, so we can do this. So you will not lose your people. You will only lose the one line that's vehicles. And so you can continue to abort and see. Now we got 2 hours and 1 minute. That's exactly what we want to see. We're going to accept that and and hope that it passes. Now it's 2:50 in the afternoon, and I've got till 8:47 tomorrow night to finish this and still break the record. And it would be a shame if it takes like 30 hours to do these 5 2-hour missions, but we'll find out. I'll let you know. We're going to break for now, and I'll check back in. I think we're going to do, I don't know, about 10 or 15 of these missions with the mission tasks. And my next split time that's relevant to that will be at the 24-hour and 22-minute mark. So we'll see how we're doing then. And I am back with the... Oh. Let me get my microphone. And I'm back with the 24-hour update. Apparently, exhaustion is starting to take its toll, and I'm starting to play stupid and talk stupid, and we're having a good time. As my old friend Sid from Final Fantasy X likes to say, yeehaw, here we go. So we're at the halfway point. On a 48-hour run, we would be 24 hours, and that's where we're at. We got 12 hours left on the nuke. I would love to have combat deployment missions done by then. Unfortunately, we failed mission 17. Nothing you could do about it. It's 50-50. Hopefully, we won't fail too many more of them. And then I went ahead and took about an hour break to cook some dinner. And during that time, I ran the rest of the adaptive AI off the map. So they have no night vision. They have no shotguns. They have no body armor, which is great because we're running into a section that I call the gauntlet. In my playlist, it's, I think, the end of video 9. And it is missions 9, 14, 16, and 21. They're awful. They take forever. And you want to do those when the sun's up if you can. Otherwise, you fall asleep and want to give up. So I'm going to go do that and see how much of this I can get done by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I think my next update will be around the 34-hour mark on my practice run, which would be 8 missions to go and the rest of the side ops. So I'll see you then. And we are back. Instead of a 34-hour update, I'm going to give you the 48-hour update. It's been a long night. I finally gave in about 10 o'clock this morning and took a nap for about an hour and a half. I'm feeling a lot more refreshed. My voice is kind of back. Again, be prepared and good self-care. Got to take care of yourself. I was playing real bad. It took me like an hour to beat the hard mode of quiet, which is normally, I mean, literally you just press X at the right time. It calls supply drops on her. It's not even that hard, and I was so stupid by that point. So I'm feeling better, feeling recharged, ready to go. We're going to fight the sniper skulls on extreme mode right now. I'm going to be really cheap and call in sleeping gas drops on their heads, and I'm going to use stealth camo and night vision to spot them, so they really won't be in any danger. It's been a good run. We're waiting for the last key deployment mission to pop. It's at about an hour and 26, and that's because we failed it the first time. I believe all we have left is this battle here and extracting, the vehicle that spawns at the end when you beat all 4. We got to fight Metal Gear on Extreme, and then we have to do Mission 45 with all their tasks, and then wait for that combat deployment. I think I have like 5 animals I got to get still, and maybe like 50 Fultons, which I'll go, get from the Mission 16 exploit. But anyway, that's where we're at, and I'll check back with you. We'll see, as you can see.
Judging from security in the area, I'd expect to see a patrol by now.
So yeah, that's where we're at. We're pretty much waiting an hour and 22 minutes for Prevent Coup d'etat to find out if we finish this or not. And I will check back with you when that timer comes to 0. And we are back, and it is about 5 o'clock in the evening on Sunday night. We started this Friday night at about just before 9, so we're getting close to, I don't know, about the 45-hour mark. The timer went to 0, and we, of course, failed that mission. However, we were able to finish the rest of the gameplay at 42 hours and 44 minutes, which remarkably is only 16 minutes shy of my 43-hour practice run. So real happy about that. We went ahead and reset and retried again on this final combat deployment mission, and we are now down to just a few seconds. So here's the thing. We failed 7 of these last 5 missions. We failed them 7 times. That adds at least 14 hours to our time. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Just try to get the missions done as quick as possible, and keep rolling to get low completion times, and try to stay out of loading screens once you get to the end. So that's it. It's been a wild ride. I'm awful exhausted, and I'm looking forward to this clearing here in just a minute. So let's see how we go. Drum roll, please. And we are successful. Thank God. All right. Well, I'm really glad. So you'll get your dispatch missions trophy. That's deployment. You'll get your collector trophy. That's for all the blueprints, because you got that bullhorn right there. And then you'll get your platinum. And as you can see, we have cleared it. I went ahead and put the current leaderboard now, which is 1 day and 20 hours. To be more specific, that's 1 day, 20 hours, and 18 minutes, which took just about 3.5 hours off of Tiny Arse's time. So that's it. We are done. It's honestly been a pretty smooth ride. It's gone a lot quicker than I thought. I would like to thank my wife again for clutching out that PS5 a couple days before this run. I think those loading screens saved quite a bit. The controllers were brand new too, so I'm sure that helped. All my controllers are super old and half broken. I would like to thank specifically Tiny Arse, which is Cly, for inspiring me to compete at this level and get that much better. I'd like to thank Valissa and thanks Kojima for those 100% speed runs that gave me a lot of things to think about and do a little better on this time. And mostly, I would like to thank you for watching this. This might be your first video. If you've watched the whole playlist, that's 12 hours now. So hopefully this gives you some kind of inspiration to play the game, learn a few tips for each mission. Maybe try and take a crack at these times. Like I said, the contest is there. First person to do it, I'll hook you up. So once again, thanks for watching. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I'm open to suggestion if you put it in the description or in the comments. I do speed plats. I do stay bads. Mass Effect's a contender. I got a couple golf games I'm thinking about. But who knows what the future will hold. For now, I'm just going to go get a nice long nap and maybe a nice hot bath. We'll see. Until then, stay bad, people. Non-gone is gone.